we are reclaiming our time. We are reclaiming our time. I wanted you to tune into this live because I needed you to reclaim your time. There is no time like the present. There is no time like now. When so, we have all made some plans. We are all attempting to figure out what is the next move for 2025. What's the next move for 2025? Some of you have went to vision board parties. Some of you have written down some plans in your journals and your things. And some of you are still trying to figure it out. But I want to take you back to a time. I want to take you back to a time when there was just falling in love for the first time. Falling in love for the first time. Like, think about like the love of 2024, the hopes of a new love in 2025, right? Compared to the 90s. In the 90s, listen, it was all about love. It was all about, in the 80s and the 70s, right? And we had the music, and we had the desire, we had the hope, we had the dream of love. And I mean, when I fell in strong like for someone, and for me, it was in the 90s, and it felt so good, really, really good. My heart was warm inside. Like every time I saw their smile, my stomach would flip flop and flip flop and flip flop, right? And it was like a dream because as a adolescent, as a youth, it's just something you have never experienced before, and it's so new, and nobody never really talks about it except your peers, right? Um, but it is a great feeling. It brings about these emotions, these thoughts. It brings about these feelings that come up every time you think about that person or that thing, right? And because it could be, what if it was a sport, right? But specifically, just falling in love for the first time with someone who is reciprocating that love back to us, right? And we as women, we as individuals, it is a feeling that makes us feel so good that we never want to miss it, right? We never want to be without that thing. And just think about how we used to spend time just sitting, um, thinking, dreaming, planning what kind of house we're going to have, who we're going to talk to, where we're going to go, how we're going to live, what kind of job we're going to have. And we spent time, and of course, yes, it's our adolescence, but we spent time thinking and dreaming and planning. And when you think about the woman of 2025 today, the woman who is successful, she is educated, she is intelligent, and she too desires love, right? But the pieces of her have been so broken. What is the next move? When the pieces of you are so broken, what is the next move? Many of us, oftentimes, we just don't know. Our environment doesn't teach us that today. We don't put ourselves in environments or in communities. We don't plug in into places that may have something else that we need for whatever reason. But that woman is shattered. She has a broken heart. And when your heart has been shattered, when it has been broken, when you are literally trying to figure out how to clean up the pieces of me, how to put me back together again, or better yet, because you are so tired, of doing and being and becoming and pursuing and hoping. And you have forgotten all about your dreams. You are just moving from day to day, moment to moment. You're just um, going through the motions, going through a circle. You know, you're like a hamster on a wheel, and you're just going and going and going and going and going. I want to know, what's your next move? What's your next move after you have gone so much that you literally cannot go anymore? Your body has stopped. It has shut down. Your mind has shut down. Everything has become dark. It has become dull. Every environment that you walk into, it drains you. And you have no more to give. There is nothing left. I want to know, what's the next move? What's the next move? This is the Love Reset. I am Chantel Branch, your self love specialist. I am the founder of My Fearless Future Project. And I want you to just come and talk to me. Just come and talk to me. Let's just have a conversation. Let's talk about the next move. You will never get to the next move and never say, like, it's like you wrote down and you made the vision board and you said, I'm doing this in 2025. This is the year that I'm going to do this. This is the year that I'm going to become. This is the year that this is my great year, that I am going to be just in this financially. I'm going to hit all my financial goals. I'm going to be where I want to be in my career, in my job, in my market, in my home. But something happens when you can have all of that ambition plus burnout, all of that ambition plus overwhelm, all of that ambition plus the burden of life, of career, of social media, the burden of thoughts, the burden of emotions, the burden of anger, the burden of grief. See, back in the time when we fell in love, a long, long time ago, back in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, but really, for me, the 90s, back in the time in the early 2000s, when you fell in love, you had all that time to dream. We didn't have all of what we have today. And because we do, and because we have to go to work and we have to keep moving, or so we believe, we find ourselves stuck. We find ourselves frustrated. We find ourselves overwhelmed. We find ourselves burned out. So I want to know, what's the next move if you want to find yourself in love? If you want to find yourself in love again with an intimate partner whose character models the behavior of someone that you could see yourself spending your whole life with. Because what version of that partner will they get? What version of you will they get? What version of you will show up if you are too broken or too lost or too stuck in trying to figure out how to pick up the pieces of your broken heart? It only takes one decision. It only takes one move. It only takes one move. But in order to get to the next move, you got to be able to see you. And by the time it literally hits your body and your soul, I mean, you're in pain, aching, headaches, migraines, stuff. And the doctor, like, I don't know what's wrong, right? And they're trying to tell you to take some things out of your life, begin to assess what is causing it, right? I'm a wife. I'm a mother of 4. I have teenagers. It's a hard time for me. And I want to know if you are just ready to really decide that I have given all of me to the last relationship. I have given all of me to my children, to my parents that I'm now taking care of in their old age. I have given all of me to my grandchildren. I have given all of me to my job, to the career, to the business, to the church. But I keep putting myself at the bottom of the list. Let me help you with that. We are programmed to forget ourselves. We are programmed to skip us. We are programmed as women. We are programmed before you even hit the earth. It's already a program in your mother's head. Because you thought you was gonna get me on that one. It's a program already in your family, in your bloodline. It's a program on your mother's side of the family. It's a program for women on your father's side of the family. It's been a program for the women in your family for ages, for decades, for centuries, for years and years upon years. This is nothing that men just woke up in 2020. No, that's too soon. 1983 and said, I'm going to have women do this. No, it has been a structure. Male supremacy, right? The male hierarchy has been a structure and a pillar, and it has been in place so long, right? That is normalized for us. It's easy for you to put you last because you were programmed to put you last. Now, I'm not saying that if you are a wife and if you are a mother and if you are a single woman and you're desiring to be a wife, right? I'm not saying that if you're a woman that you're just supposed to be selfish. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that you are desiring to be married. You're desiring to be in a loving relationship. You are desiring to walk side by side with an individual for the rest of your life. That's the purpose of getting married, right? You're getting married so that you can walk side by side by that person for the rest of your life. If you're getting married for other reasons, it's not going to work out. It's just not going to work out, right? But for the people and the women that desire to be married, desire to be in a loving relationship, which version of the loving you? So for me, Chantel Branch, your self-love specialist, what part of me will you get? What part of me will you get? Will you get the loving version of me? Will you get the best version of me? What version of me will you get? If I have done the work to pick up the broken pieces of my heart, that is where your transformation happens. Your transformation happens when you decide, I'm going to do the work. Your transformation happens when you decide, I'm going to do the work. Transformation can only happen when you decide to do the work. Transformation can only happen when you decide to do the work. It happens when you decide to do the work. It happens when you decide to do the work. Transformation happens when you decide to do the work. So we all want to know, what's the next move? What's the next move? Where are we going? What are we doing? We all want to know, what's the next move? Where are we going? What are we doing? Where are we going? What are we doing? Everybody wants to know, where are we going? What are we doing? Where are we going? What are we doing? What's the next move after you pick up the pieces of your broken heart. And it's not even after you do that, because that is a huge task to do. But in order to be in a relationship, in order to really see and truly be what you desire, your goals, the things that you wrote down, that you said that in 2025, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. I am going to be. I'm going to be. I'm going to be. When you are ready to make the next move, you have to be ready to decide to take yourself from the bottom of the list to the top of the list. From the bottom of the list to the top of the list. You have to decide to be ready to take yourself from the bottom of the list to the top of the list. And so, how do we take ourselves from the bottom of the list to the top of the list? It's just that practical. It's just that practical. Mm-hmm. And so I brought on Yanni Prophet, breakthrough specialist, to help us. It's the one big task that we have to decide to do in order to even turn a corner. So before we could turn a corner, we have to decide, like, what is that one big thing that we need to do in order to decide to turn that corner, to move ourselves from the bottom of the list to the top of the list. Yanni, give us 3 practical things that we could do, like for ourselves on a daily basis, to just begin to help us move ourselves from the bottom of the list to the top of the list.
The first and most important thing is for us to say no. Being able to set a boundary of when we have reached our limitation. And the second most important thing is to know where and how to begin, to say that I am ready to put myself first. Because life throws us so much with work, family, relationships, and just trying to balance it all. It's hard to even conceptualize that I am important and I need to put me first. So first thing is to carve out that time, start saying no to invites or to connections or being available to situations that take away from you pouring back into yourself. And then the third and most important thing is to set up actionable goals. Start small with 5 or 10 minutes of where you take time for yourself, to pour into yourself, to become one with yourself so that you can reset and start setting healthy, reachable, and achievable ways that you prioritize yourself.
So yeah, let me jump in. When you say spend time with yourself, like, what are some activities that we could do around our house to, because we like all different things, but what are some things that maybe, like 3 things that we could do in spending time with ourselves? Because what if you come from a large family and that's not something you normally do?
So I know that myself having children, it's hard to spend time with myself. So one of the things that I do is I find a quiet space and I go and I'll read something or read a book, or sometimes it's just me binge watching my favorite show or reading a scripture or journaling, going into my feelings of what I've been throughout the day. And then another thing is, if you like gardening and you have the space to do that, so many different things that we can do for release. You can garden, you can cook. A cook is a way of healing. Going in a quiet place and doing art, or just meditating in a quiet space for a few minutes. These are things that you can do at home to practice taking care of yourself and being one with yourself, giving yourself that quiet time to be in your own space.
Excellent, excellent. It's a hard turn, but it's a necessary turn. It's a hard turn. Thank you so much for that, Yanni. Um, it's a hard turn, but it's a necessary turn. If we do not take the opportunity every day that you get to, if you are literally planning out your day from the time your eyes awake to the time your eyes close, that is amazing. First of all, awesome, awesome, excellent. You're excellent with time management, man, right? But kudos to you. But just for all of us, it's an opportunity to build you inside your calendar, inside your schedule. Pencil me in. And even if it's like just taking 10 minutes on a day when you're at work and you know it's been a rough day, I'm just going to take these 10 minutes when I go on my lunch. And I would recommend eating first because that's what I would do. I would eat first. But I would only spend maybe like 10 minutes on my lunch actually eating. And then I would take those next couple of minutes and I would go to my car. I love finding like a parking lot like nearby, especially if it's like a hotel parking lot like nearby my job or wherever location I'm at. And I'm like, oh man, I'm just going to sit back and be cool, right? Because I know I'm safe. I got the cameras right there. They're not going to get me, hopefully, in this hotel parking lot, right? But, or grocery store. But I just kind of I walk away from my desk. Especially in the summertime, I have to get out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get in my car and I just drive away from the people. And not that they are a nuisance or they bother me, or maybe perhaps your job, they do, right? But I just remove myself and I love to sit and just let fresh air blow. So I'll sit out or I'll sit in my car and I'll eat my lunch with my windows down. And maybe I listen to some music or just listen to the expressway, right? Because that's a close location for me. And just the sound of the cars going back and forth on both sides of the road and all those lanes. It takes me away from what I was focused on at work. It takes me away from a problem that I probably was having at home or with the kids, or something I was just dealing with that day or in that moment. Maybe I just received a call or a text or a message or an email, right? But whatever it is, it frustrated me enough that I needed to walk away. I needed to walk away. So what's up next for 2025? I am Chantel Branch, your self-love specialist. I want to help us learn how to stop and pause, how to let go, how to begin to just see how, because you have to first decide, I want to pick the pieces of my broken heart up. I want to stop feeling angry. I want to stop feeling bitter. I want to stop letting anger rule my day. I want to stop letting anger rule my day, because maybe at sometimes when you get on the road, it feels good, but ultimately it don't release no endorphins in your brain. It don't make you giggly. It don't make you smile. It doesn't do any of those great things for you, but yet we do it and think that it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the night, it's not right. And you can now listen, if anger is ruling your day and you need help trying to figure out how I can pinpoint the things that are happening in my day, the problems that are really making me so upsetting, making me go from 0 to 1,000, you have to join me. for the love reset. You got to join me for the love reset. Um, Yanni and I will be running a private group session for the love reset. It is going to be happening in February. Okay. So mark your calendars. The love reset is going to be happening in February, and it is what you need to stop and pause. It is what you need to stop and pause. What's the next move for 2025? It's for you to see you. The only way you can see you if you just slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit, right? But when we get together, I'm gonna help you just pause and just stop and get right there, right? So I need you to slow down a little bit. Come to the love reset. Come to the love reset on February 17th. Okay. Come to the love reset on February 17th. And we're gonna kick our morning off. We're kicking our morning off with positivity, with affirmations, with affirmance, with verbal talk of gratitudes. We are creating the space for ourselves because nobody's coming to save us. Nobody is coming to save us. There is nobody that's going to come and save you and pick you up out of bed and make your feet walk and make your feet do this, and then it's going to speak for you and say all of these things. Oh no, you have to do it for you. And we all need help. We all need help at some point and at some moment. We all need help. So what's next for 2025? It's for you to slow down just a little bit so I can help you pause. So I can help you pick up the pieces of your heart that's been shattered, that's been broken from relationships, from intimate relationships. Let's clean up the mental madness and let's get to the matters of your heart. Let's get to the matters of your heart. This is the moment that you're stopping and you're not thinking about anything else but you. And I help you do that because we all need help. We all need support. We all need a place to plug into. I want to come and talk to you, but I need you to slow down just a little bit so I can meet you right there and we can do this together, piece by piece, minute by minute, moment by moment, talk by talk. This is the moment that you decide. You get to choose. I'm at the love reset for me. I'm going to do it for me, for my heart. Because what I'm currently doing is the same thing that I was doing 4 weeks ago. What I'm currently doing is the same thing that I was doing 6 weeks ago, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, right? Your today does not look like the future, but your today is looking like the same old habits, the same old patterns of thoughts from 2024 and 2023 and beyond. We don't have to run back down the years because you know the thoughts that you think to be true about you. But when you come to the love reset on February 17th, we get to pause together. We get to hit the love reset button together. We get to do it together. This is the moment that you choose you. This is the moment that you stop and you pause. I am Chantel Branch, your self-love specialist, and this is the time for you. Hit love reset and let's make the next move the move for you, the best move for you. I am Chantel Branch, your self-love specialist. Let's make sure that you are subscribing. Make sure that you are registered so that you receive all of our links because we will be hitting in our private spaces, right? So that we can come together privately, virtually, and so that we can begin to do the work. Because I believe in creating spaces for us to do the work. And in order for me to be vulnerable, I have to be able to trust the environment and the space that I'm in. And so that is why I invite you to the virtual love reset. Let's hit love reset button together. And I will see you on February 17th. Hit the link, send me a DM, send me a message. Let me know. Let me know if you have any questions about the love reset. It's about you. So send me a DM so I can know what's next. I want you to tell me it's me. It's me. I'm next for 2025. I'm next for 2025. I'm taking myself from the bottom of the list and moving myself up to a priority because this is the year of me. This is the year of you, 2025. So until next time, thank you so much.